Kevin Eder, Ashland, Wisconsin, riding dirty 22.
Where'd that ride dirty nickname come from?
I don't know, it was just something funny we did. When I first started racing super stocks, it kind of stuck. It's a great ploy to sell t-shirts and wristbands. I don't even have one on.
Tell everybody how you got your start in racing.
Boy, I was a freshman in high school. My dad gave me a snowmobile. So it was the last snowmobile he was going to buy me, and winter ended and I sold it, and one of the guys he worked with was selling his race car, so I took the money from that and bought a car and basically paid for it all through sponsorships and different, I guess I didn't really have a job back then, mowing lawns and stuff like that.
Right.
In the beginning it didn't really cost my parents any money, but throughout the years I've leached a couple dollars off them. No, I started out in pure stocks, ran 2 years in pure stocks. The whole time I wanted to move up to a super stock, but I just didn't think it was feasible to do it in all in one big jump, so ran 1 year of street stocks, won features in the pure stock, couple features in pure stock, feature in street stock, basically running one night a week. Went to the Wissota 100 that year, took 6th. But other than that, that's all we ran in the street stock. Then the end of that season, Bob Brevac, who lives right down the road from the racetrack here, he owns a NASCAR truck team. His son moved into the ranks of asphalt stuff, so he asked me to drive his old car. So we were racing the ABC Raceway 6-cylinder. That sold after 3 nights we were in it. So he put us in his super stock at the end of the year. Ran 3 nights with him, did well, won a B feature and heat, and then we piled the thing into the wall. Here, the steering wheel fell off. I mean, there was nothing left of the car. So that went really well. Then the following season, actually that year I hot lapped the owners of Fastlane Motorsports super stock at practice here and did really well in it, and the next year they decided to give me the car. So I had a host car deal for 2 years. Everything was paid for car-wise. I got to keep my sponsorship money, so I was able to run a lot of shows. We ran down to Menominee almost every Friday night that year. Ended up winning Wissota Rookie of the Year that year in 2007. Then the next year we did the Galloper deal again, and then just kind of we parted ways, just differences in opinions and stuff like that. So I ended up buying my own super stock from a place in Hibbing, ran that 2 years, did well. I think 3 years in a row we finished second in points in Proctor, we just never could win one. And we always did well in points in Ashland, but Scott Lawrence is unbeatable, so that's almost unfair.
Okay, so tell me about your rookie and modified this year. It's been kind of a challenge.
Yeah, it started out pretty poorly. I think we did most of the filming for the show first 3 nights, which really gives you guys a great perception of how I did this year. I mean, we're green behind the ears when it comes to mod. I have a crew of 4 people. I mean, they're dedicated. They work on the car. They do a lot of stuff, so they expect us to do well. And it was hard in the beginning. If it wasn't for Buzzy, we'd be running around the back still. He got us going in the right direction. Really good with tech support. You can call him any hour of the night. You know, he most likely won't answer, but he'll call you back pretty quick after. He's been good to us. It's been pivotal for us to run up front as him. I mean, we had a pretty good year. We made some changes to the cars, one handful of heats, 5, 6, 7 heats, something like that, a feature, a couple top 5s. We've made every invitational this year, which is pretty stellar for a rookie. Silver, Labor Day shootout. We won a heat and got second in the dash and top 10 in the feature. Northern Nationals did well, made red clay tonight, Punky Manor last weekend. Couldn't ask for too much more.
Feel like you're progressing then?
I feel like we've gotten a lot better, yes. I think there's still a long ways to go. Driving style didn't fit a car right away, but it's coming around, and it's hard to drive a $30,000 race car when you don't have a pot to piss in. I mean, you look at the guys who are running up front, a lot of them have 2 cars. They can stick their nose places I can't. I mean, can't afford tires half the time to keep the car up front. I mean, I've had people in the stands buy me tires. My aunt and uncle, you know, every so often they'll buy me a couple tires. It's huge. Last night, a guy came up and he gave me $200 to go put 2 new tires on for the night. I mean, without these people, it's not possible. Yeah, that was a lot of dumb luck, probably. Buzzy came over before the race, told me where a good line was, and the first 3 rows of cars all moved down to the bottom and just kind of scooted around them. Couldn't write that story any better for us. Put us in the dash and the feature out of 62 cars. Gave us a pretty good head start for the Como series too. You know, we probably shouldn't have made that show, and then there's the show in Ashland, the Como show, and the show in Proctor that, I mean, we should have made. I mean, these are shows we should have made, and right now we're sitting 1 point out of the big money, or 1 position out of the big money. So with the good run tonight, we should move up, and it shouldn't be like that. We should already be up there, but what can you do? When you're racing against the best in the business, it's hard to, you know, do well every night. And we're an underfunded team. I mean, we have as much into our car this year as some people have into their motors in this series even. You know, one of my buddies spent more money on a super stock motor than I have in my modified motor. And I just thank Dave Adams and Adams Automotive for being able to put together such a cheap piece, reliable, and makes enough power, we keep up. But, I mean, if it wasn't for that, if our motor took 1 little poop, it'd be done. You know.
Tell us about your team and that bus that you guys got, the short
Swagger wagon. I was able to buy that the years I was racing for Fastlane, because I didn't have to pay for a car. I was able to get a trailer with the help of my dad and get that bus, and it kind of set us up for the years to come. That thing's sweet. Got bunk beds in there, no heat, so it kind of sucks this time of year.
Didn't you get, what, 5 miles a gallon?
Yes, about 7 miles a gallon, pulling or not. Yeah, she's efficient.
It's getting a lot of looks though when you're going down the road.
Yeah, not the right kind of looks though. My team's kind of evolved through the years. It's always been me and a buddy, Omer. He's helped me from the first pure stock I had. It was always kind of a, you know, joke. You know, he never thought I'd be able to get a car. I'd always say, I'm going to get a race car. You know, yeah, whatever. But if you do, I'll help you. And he's always been there to help me. There's been a couple guys on and off through the years. You know, you overwork them, burn them out, and they leave. You know, come back. Yeah, that sucks too. But Chris Lustig and his wife kind of took me into their home, I guess, and I've never had a garage. This whole time I've raced, I've never had a garage to work out of. Worked out of our driveway for 3 years. First 2 years in the super stock, we were able to work at Fastlane. Then when I got my own car, Chris found me on the internet, and well, he's heard that I need.
If he found you on the internet, where did he find you?
2020.
Are you sure?
He heard I needed a place to put my car, and he just retired from racing, and he said, bring her over. And at first he was kind of timid to work on the thing, and we'd always come over, do all the work, and then he started you know, nutting and bolting the front end. And then a couple weeks later he was changing oil. And then a month later he'd wash the cars on Monday morning. And then pretty soon, you know, he's the show. If something falls off the car, he's the guy who gets bitched at. You know, luckily nothing's fallen off. But between Omer, Chris, Jamie MacArthur, Tad Bredding, I mean, that's basically my crew nowadays. The rest have switched teams, gotten married, gotten out of it. I mean, those are the guys I count on. Realistically, I'd like to get a top 10, and I'd like to finish out in the top 15 in Como points and take that fat check and pay for a new car next year or something.
Order your heating fuel online at ComoOilAndPropane.com.
It's pretty high right now.
What's that?
I don't know.
Temp?
It came up.
Oh, that's fine. As long as it's about... Brake clear?
Yeah.
You want me to top it off with fuel?
What's that?
Top it off with fuel?
Yeah.
Oh, you
They want a video of this right here. I didn't need it.
I didn't look too slow, did I?
No, you're...
Back row. Buzzy got the pole.
On purpose, that back row? Or?
No. They'd give me too much hell if I opted to start in the back.
I'll put down the wrong hometown again, did you?
Ash Vegas. Why did they say it?
No, you just got the right leg down.
Oh.
Average.
Oh, I see, I see.
racing a modified?
A little scary in 1 and 2. There's probably a 3-foot hole there. Fell into a couple times. Other than that, it was a little different from the super stock. It seemed to have a lot less instant forward traction. It seemed like a lot more side bite. The car was handling pretty good, but there's definitely room for improvement with the driver and the car, and feel a lot more confident after running my first night at the track that we can keep up with these boys.
So you've wanted to race a modified for probably a couple of years now. What's it like to finally get into one?
Expensive.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest thing was finally getting enough money and actually selling my super stock. I know I've been pretending to sell it the last couple of years, but finally someone came up with the cash and I had no excuse not to get a car. Dave Adams and Buzzy Adams, I wouldn't even dream of racing a mod if it wasn't for them too. Dave gave me a stellar deal on a motor. Buzzy found me a new used car, and with all the testing and knowledge that Buzzy has, it's going to be a big help for us this year and save us a lot of time and money testing ourselves.
So one of the big things that you're going out for this year is the Como Mod Series. Going after gunning for that Rookie of the Year. So what's it going to be like to drive with those big boys?
It'd be nice just to make a show. You got 40 to 50 cars. I don't care who you are, you're pretty happy just to make the show. And accumulating points is going to be tough. Superior, I haven't raced there. It's an hour from my house. I generally race Proctor on Sundays. It's just easier with my schedule. So I don't have too many laps around Superior, so that'll be a trying time on a normal night, but with 50 of the best mods in the country, it's going to be tough. Never been to Ogilvy. I drove by twice, but that was about it. So that'll be another hard one. Ashland, I got hundreds of laps there. Proctor, we got time there. So aside from that, you just got some good competition, good cars, good drivers. It's going to be tough.
Sign up for the convenient level pay program at Como Oil and Propane.
Mod guys, I'll say the same thing. Thanks for coming, everybody, all 4 classes. This is an incredible turnout for a Wednesday night. There are 62 mods here. That is by far the most mods on a non-invitational Como show, so that's freaking awesome. Here's how the show is going to run. The order of events is already on that board, so you can check out the order of events. We are going to hot lap Midwest mods, and then we're going to go into the racing. As far as the mod program goes, we will have 8 heat races. The heat race winner will go to the dash. Second place will go to the feature, and everybody else goes to B mains. The heat races will be 10 laps apiece. We will have 4 B mains. There'll be 12 laps apiece, and the top 2 will go to the feature. So you got to be in the top 2 of anything if you want to get into the show tonight, fellas. We will have a provisional based on last year's series points. Whoever's the highest from last year's final points that did not qualify will start 25th in the A main.
Do you have any idea what you know throw at it?
It's going to be dry.
All right.
We'll just have to watch the first couple of heats.
Yeah, keep me posted. Oh, is it slipping? You're good over here. Make sure you don't catch the oil pan.
Kevin Eder, and he will start the dash 5th inside of row 3. 3, 2, 1.
How'd the car run, Kevin?
What's up?
How'd the car run?
I was a little slippery out there. We'll make some changes, hopefully get it better a little bit for the feature here.
What do you got to change for the feature?
We're gonna put a little pressure in the left rear, take some out of the right sides, try to flatten try to get the car to roll over a little more. See if we can run that bottom. I'm not too sure if I like that top side all the way up by the wall there, but we'll see what happens. I guess we came in here tonight and we just wanted to make the show and win in a heat race and finishing 5th in the dash or 6th or wherever we ended up was above expectations. We haven't ran any laps here. Not familiar with the car, not familiar with the track. It feels good to make the show and load the car in one piece.
Okay, so officially you finished 11th?
11th, 12th, not sure. It's hard to count that
What's it
high.
like for you to win that heat race? I mean, come on. You went up top, put her on the top shelf. I mean, is that a scary proposition at a racetrack like this?
Those back straightaway, front straightaway walls creep up on you. Yeah, it's scary. Your first time out here. Boys told me to let her hang out, and they're responsible to fix it, along with myself. So I guess just gave it what we could, and that's that.